today was the end of the buyout window. I believe it's today, maybe tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. And Trey Living said that they're not going to be buying anyone out. And everyone looks to Matt Murray, and they're like, all right, well, what does that mean for Matt Murray?
Yeah.
Like, Matt Murray cannot be an option for this team next year. Like, it's simply.
Absolutely not.
It
no
absolutely
way,
cannot
no how.
happen. So,
But this is where you would pay infinite amount of money to be a fly on the wall to know Matt Murray's status with the organization.
in terms of what?
I'm healthy. I want to play next year.
Not possible.
Good for him.
Okay, listen, don't shoot the messenger. I'm throwing it out there. Both of you are shooting the messenger. What I'm saying is Brad Treliving comes in probably with no predisposition.
Well, he's got to have some predisposition on Matt Murray and his history.
But I'm saying he's probably
Call me.
He's had probably deep. One of his best friends is Kyle Dubas. He actually even said that in his opening press conference, saying Kyle and I are very close. So
I wouldn't call Kyle on Matt Murray.
And say,
probably not the guy I'd be calling.
Well, maybe Kyle wants Matt Murray back.
Well, maybe.
But don't you think Kyle would call and say, I want Matt Murray, but I want you to choose some of the salary?
Oh, I think that's exactly, and I think he'd be smart to do that. I think that would actually be very wise.
Well, listen, the point being is I don't know what they're thinking. That's why I said I would pay a lot of money to be a fly on the wall to go, what is his future with this organization? Or do they have a bigger trade that he's getting lumped into it?
That would be the perfect beginning of our segment, Truth Serum. You get Kyle on the phone and say, you're now in Pittsburgh. Do you want Matt Murray back? And if you don't, why?
Right.
And you know what? The truth, if he had to tell the truth, he'd probably say, well, he can't stay healthy, and when he does, he's not very good.
Yeah.
So why would I want him back? That would be the first guest on Truth Serum. You want Matt Murray? You brought him in here to Toronto. Now you're in Pittsburgh. Do you want him there?
I just can't picture a scenario where Matt Murray can be a part of this program in the fall. I'm sorry.
No way,
I didn't think he should have been last year. I was adamant about that. I think we all were. I was flabbergasted the Leafs made that trade.
Right.
Absolutely flabbergasted. And it played out basically the exact way I predicted it would. And I think it'll only get worse. With all due respect. It played
out the way you looked at the scenario and said, why did you think anything different than that was going to happen?
You're right. And that's exactly what happened. So, yes, I'm sure he's healthy today, and I'm sure he's preparing to play.
Right.
And he's entitled to a lot of money. That's another thing about this.
Right.
The actual cash is higher than the cap hit. Like, the cash is a lot of money.
Like $6 million or something.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. I think it actually escalated the amount of cash he was getting. So it's not so much even about the cap hit. It's like if you're going to call up, let's say Arizona, because they're always the kind of black hole that takes on contracts. Right. They're not going to pay him $6 million plus.
Yeah,
they're not going to pay him that kind of money. But I think for me, if I'm the Leafs, you got to begin with clearly this isn't an option. So now, how do we make it work?
Right?
Is it a buyout? Is it a trade where you have to throw in an asset to get rid of him, or is it he's a part of a bigger trade? Is it a long-term IR, Robitaille and Lou Lamoriello magic trick?
I'm just looking up the salary. He is owed $8 million.
$8 million. That's what I thought.
Ottawa's chewing on some of that. So whatever the percentage is, it's 6 and change or something from Toronto, and Ottawa's paying the rest. He's owed 8 real cash this year.
Right.
He's
showing up.
Exactly.
Absolutely, he's showing up as he should. Everyone else does. I'm not. This is not
on Matt Murray.
About. It is because he doesn't play.
What
and he
I'm
doesn't
saying,
add
as
up
far
to
as
his
like,
contract.
I wouldn't be mad at him saying I want to play.
Of course,
he wants $8 million.
I fully expect that he will and he should. He'll show up to camp, and whoever he's playing for, I expect Matt Murray to show up and say, "I'm ready for physicals and I'm ready to play.
Right,
let's go." But
man,
for me, I don't see a future here in Toronto. I cannot picture a scenario where they explain Matt Murray returning when Joseph Woll has to go through waivers now.
He's on the team. The only one is
Wall's on
how
the
much
team.
does Samsonov want?
Well,
are you keeping Murray in case you have to walk away from Samsonov?
No. For me, Murray has no bearing on anything.
Yes, he's not a part of it. I can't depend on him. If you
need
a veteran guy to play a bunch of games to help this Wall out, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. He'll be injured within 5 games, and then it's Joseph Woll and Shalgren. That's your goalies. No way. Not starting the show like this.
I agree with you. I feel like I'm so negative all the time.
But
what?
I feel like I'm so I did a Sports Center hit earlier where I was like, no, can't do that. Like, Everything with the
It's
Leafs.
June 29th.
I know that. But it's just
You were losing it on Sports Center
I
at
wasn't.
3:30 in the afternoon.
Yelling at Corey Warren.
I wasn't
Yelling
yelling
at him.
necessarily, but I was asked about Matt Murray, and I said he cannot be a part of the team.
Yes.
Like,
And thank you for saying
I
that.
said he can't be.
And thank you for bringing it up on this show.
I was,
and
asked,
now
I was asked about Eric Carlson. I said, no, I don't think it's
don't
a fit
want
here.
Erik Karlsson.
I don't, because of his disposition. I've said this for probably 3 or 4 years. I think he's wired the exact same way as Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares. They're just
Play hockey.
they just go out and they play, and it's not tough, it's not physical. I don't think they're overly comfortable in those situations. And I think you're adding another guy with effectively the same disposition.
Yeah,
that
that's a
alone
great point.
is
It's a
just
great
something
point.
I don't think makes sense.
And that's saying something about everyone else's disposition.
Absolutely.
When you're saying you don't want to add any more to it, as skilled as Erik Karlsson is.
Yes.
That's scary, actually.
Well,